What's going on, everybody? It's Theoretical Ghost here, and today is my first time on this, but I'd like to talk about certain things, and one of them is actually going to be some of the awful news we heard about Apex's crossplay. That's something I've been following. I'm an avid Apex player, even though I'm about to show you some really jank clips of of Splitgate, me playing it for the first time. I tried recording these earlier, but I figured
Team
why not have
Deathmatch.
my potatoy like play style on here for these first few matches. That way there's something to watch
Lost
and
the
we can laugh
lead.
out of. But so diving into this, right? So I just want to say that Apex is amazing. I love it to death. Great gameplay. My favorite battle royale. The issue at the end of the day is that cross progression should be a thing by now. Crossplay is, I misspoke earlier. I said crossplay, but cross progression is what needs to happen. Crossplay took long enough. I know their development cycle has been really kicked in the butt, and it's struggled in that sense, and they've had to rearrange how they do things, and it's understandable. However, cross progression is more of a legal battle, and they came out not that long ago. Actually, this is probably old news by now, like a week or two, and they kind of discussed the fact that hey, like we want this to happen, but where's the holdup, you know? And they kind of hinted at legal issues. And with that being said, Sony's always going to be the one playing hardball, and it's unfortunate that they have in the past. But I'm really hoping they're not the ones throwing these curveballs, these fastballs. You know, I hope they're not playing baseball. But with all that being said, it's if it is one company, which I can't imagine it entirely is at this point for Apex. Think about it; it's a massive battle royale. It's got a cult following at this point. It's no one is gonna sit there and just gatekeep on their own. I would imagine if I had to speculate, you know, tinfoil hat time, that it has to be multiple companies, and when I say multiple, just maybe one other. Because Sony does like to play, like Sony likes to play ball. They really do. They are stuck in their ways, and we all know what happens when companies get stuck in their ways. They they get what they want for a little bit, and then eventually it comes collapsing on them. And I think that's the road we're heading to. Is that Sony's already put up a fight long enough to the point where they don't have much left to give. You know, they have already been gatekeeping crossplay, cross progression for the longest time ever. You look back even like 2016, there's only one game I could think of. It's a dead game now that had crossplay at that point and cross progression was Epic Games' Paragon MOBA. It's actually one of my favorite games, and you'll probably hear that again if you ever listen to another video. But yeah, that's one of the few examples of that had that crossplay, cross progression, and it wasn't only until recently, until recent years, and I mean very recent years, that crossplay and cross progression have becoming more and more of a thing. So when we see all these companies kind of just say, "Hey, let's put our hat in the race. Let's do this crossplay, cross progression. Let's do this. Let's do this. Let's do this." And then you got Sony who just kind of like, "Nah, we good." I look at that one game, the Paragon game, and I'm just like, where was how come you were so cooperative with this and you embraced it with PC and PS4 players, and now all of a sudden you just don't want to play, you just don't want to have fun, you just don't want you're very stuck in your roots, but yet you'll have games come to the PC without any issues. What's up with that? That's Something's off about that one. It's just all sorts of crazy in my book. It doesn't make any sense. Doesn't add up. So that's why I'm kind of feeling at the point that there has to be one other thing. Someone has to be in Sony's corner. Someone has to be in someone else's corner. Maybe it's not even Sony. Maybe it's someone in the background. Maybe it's someone saying, "No, don't do it, don't do it." And they're like, "Okay, okay," and they're whispering in each other's ears. Like holding hands, and they're like, we're gonna do this together," kind of scenario. I honestly, that's just pure speculation, but I think it's safe to assume it's Sony playing hardball. It's at this point it's pretty covered. Um, but anyone, let me know what you think about this whole situation. I think it's gonna get better. I think it's gonna happen, and when it does, I can't wait because I have not been playing. I have not been playing Apex for a long time, and I will actually switch videos real quick on these clips, and I will continue what I'm about to say. So as I'm switching, Q faded now, raw gameplay. Also, here's another bad like potatoey clip of me playing. So just feel free to get chuckle
Team
out and pretend
deathmatch.
how bad I am, and you know compare it to yourself and say you could do better than that. Anywho, so going back to what I was saying. So at the end of the day, like I'm in that crew of people, and I don't know how many of like people there are of this, but I'm in the group of people that chose not to play because I'm a console player and I recently got a PC, hence the gameplay, hence the Splitgate. Uh, I chose not to play Apex because it's a PC game at the end of the day. Like it really is truly designed for it, and I would rather play on the console, or I guess the platform. Don't hopefully I don't misspeak too much on that. I'd rather play on the platform where it's the most viable to play on, the most intense, the most fluid. You could do some crazy things with Pathfinder, slingshot grapples, and movement tech, and just look up some of the YouTubers that are out there. It's crazy. I watch plenty of them. I see it all the time. There's even a subreddit dedicated just to movement because it's that amazing. But a lot of these things you can only do on PC. So I'm kind of in this position where I only want to play on PC now. Like I really want to play the game now. I really really do, but I just want to play on PC and I don't want to start over. I don't want to lose everything I've gotten. I have hours into that game. I have skins I have unlocked. And it's not worth losing. It's not worth starting over. It's not worth spending money in my book. It's worth revisiting. Oh my god, yeah. But I'm not gonna sit here and start a new account just so I can play, just to get that quick fix. So I awkwardly wait. I have a brother of mine who he's doing the same thing. We're just awkwardly waiting, and a friend of ours just waiting for this to happen, just patiently waiting, and it's taking longer and longer and longer, and it's at this point where it's like, what the hell? Like, what's going on here? Why is this taking so long? Which now we're officially looping the conversation here that someone's playing hardball. Someone doesn't want it their way. Someone's trying to get some money out of this, and it's unfortunate we live in an economy. I guess I don't even want to say economy, a world of business. This for video games to be like this, but it is at the end of the day, it's business, and we can't really do much about that. It's kind of like cheap tactics. It's like going for a jump scare in a horror movie, or like the equivalent to making someone laugh, you tickling them if you're a comedian. Well, anywho, think about that for a little bit and think about how it's a waiting game, and let me know in the comments if there's anyone that's in that same boat as me that's just patiently waiting, desperately wanting to play but doesn't see a point to play until they're on PC because that's where it's at for Apex. Not for every game. I'm very much a console gamer. But I really do feel like that game is perfect for PC, and it just if you don't play on it, you're kind of missing out, and that's one of the few exceptions. That's just how it is. So I want to segue to the next topic in this commentary of sorts. So Powerpuff Girls. I read this article the other day, and this is a horrible segue. There's nothing connecting these dots, but I'm a huge Powerpuff Girl fan. So when I originally heard back in like a couple years ago, around 2016 again, there was that reboot Powerpuff Girls on Cartoon Network, and it's just awful. Like, don't watch it. I watched like an episode, and I actually wish I can get those minutes back because it was just that bad. It really is. Like reboots, like there's just certain things you don't mess with, and like Powerpuff Girls, you don't fuck with them, okay? And I'm gonna throw this out there. CW, I see what you're trying to do. You're trying to fuck with the girls. Yeah, don't do that. And I don't know if anyone's seen the leaked script. This is what I'm trying to get to is that there's a leaked script out there, and it's just wow. Like I hope it's nowhere close to being true, and it's hard not to take this seriously. So I am gonna take it with a grain of salt, but it said about the Powerpuff Girls are grown up, right? And they're more playing the victim card for things, and they threaten to leak each other's nudes, and that's their life. Just threaten to leak each other's nudes because for some reason we all have an ample supply of those. I can't relate to that. I don't think a lot of people can. Having sisters threaten to leak your nudes because you don't want to do something with them. Right. Okay. So CW, back to them. They actually did air the. Oh, they didn't air it. They actually recorded the pilot, and the pilot. Excuse me for this brief pause here. For whatever reason, it's long. I'm not sure what the hell I'm doing, but The pilot is was canned actually. They actually said they need to reshoot it because whatever it didn't happen, and on the least biased way, it just didn't happen. Okay, so trying to be fair about that, typically when a pilot is canned, either there was a mistake somewhere or there was a mishap. More likely going to be that it was just that bad. People didn't like it, and I don't think there was a mistake. I think this reboot is just a mistake. The idea of it, I don't think it's a good idea at all. And whoever keeps on trying to make this happen really, really needs to give up. Especially since the main actress, one of the main leads, I don't remember her name actually. This is awful. This is unprofessional. This is first commentary right here. Uh, she actually has stepped down. She stepped down and said she doesn't want to play anymore. And that's for Blossom's voice actor, or not voice actor. I'm sorry, I'm getting mixed up over here. For Blossom's actress, that's huge. That is a clear indication in my books, clear indication that this is a dud of a show, a complete dud, and it's just gonna miss hard. It's not even gonna get close. There's not even gonna be a target crowd. I think what's gonna happen is if they get their way, if they have their way, they're gonna have a first season at most, and unfortunately, we're going to have to live with that. But I'm really hoping it doesn't happen. I think the Powerpuff Girls should be left as a cartoon and should be left alone for now. I think the original series. I don't think this much often because I'm very much a glutton in this sense where I want more of something. I think the Powerpuff Girls perfectly done fine in its original run. It doesn't need to be redone. And if it ever was redone, I would make it more like an anime. If Cartoon Network wanted to come back strong and appeal to that more, I guess, teenager slash like young adolescent audience, I would come back strong with that. Like their Toonami, I'd make it. I'd go all out and double down on the Powerpuff Girls. And I do actually believe there was an anime for Powerpuff Girls years ago, and I think that crashed and failed hard. Or maybe it was just in the works and never went far there. But yeah, I mean, to me, it's one of those things you hold on to. If you're gonna bring back a series, bring back something that's less relevant, less sacred, because Powerpuff Girls are more sacred, honestly. I mean, like I would bring back like Cow and Chicken first before I brought back Powerpuff Girls, or like even actually I would bring back Johnny Bravo. Johnny Bravo's like the perfect candidate. I wonder if they've done that yet. I don't think they have, but that's like the perfect candidate for like both boys and girls at a young age. Like you have an idiot walking around trying to hit on women, you can make it so that like you can make it so he has like a switch it up, like modernize it a little bit. You know how everyone's trying to push their same agenda and everything, like the nonstop. They want like girls shouldn't be over sexualized and everything. I don't think they ever were in certain things, but make it so that like Johnny Bravo has a younger cousin that's like not his sister, his female younger cousin or something, and she's trying to do the same thing. Cause I think Johnny Bravo is like late, like 18, 19, or early 20s. I think maybe not. Either way, make it so he has a cousin, that's doing the same thing as him. He's like, I want to be like you, but I could do it better. And it'd be funny to see that unfold. Just because you'd have an idiot going hoo ha hoo, and then you have another one doing something else. But like, make it work better than Scooby Doo and Scrappy Doo. Make that chemistry, make that synergy. So I want to see that happen now that I've talked about that, but I don't know if that's gonna happen. So I doubt that'll ever be in the cards because it's Cartoon Network and Johnny Bravo is probably not that relevant anymore. But one personal one I'd love to see is Dexter's Laboratory, and I think at some point there was something in the works, but I don't know about that one. So don't listen. I'm gonna retract that statement. Don't take that one seriously. So I would love to see Dexter's Laboratory though. That one is just great. Just so much potential there. It's Hanna Barbera at its finest. Like honestly, like it just they were on fire. They had some amazing things. Like even like going back to the Flintstones, just classics. But with Dexter's Laboratory, they could definitely pull off some amazing things there, especially with the concept Dexter with the concept of the smartphone. Can you just imagine him using a smartphone and like his revelations of like Actually, what they could do is take that concept but run with it, right? Make it so that he's still as if he's in the 90s, but it's like everything's updated around him, and he gets a hold of a smartphone, and he's like, "Well, I need a calculator." It's like, "Oh, it is a calculator." What? Oh, I need to take a camera or a picture of this. Oh, that is a camera. What? How? And like make him just completely dumbfounded. Just imagine, like, even like Dee Dee would be for once like smarter than him, like truly smarter than him, tech savvy in that sense, right? So she knows what it is, and she's like, yeah, everyone uses these. Like, where have you been? Like, where are the times? And let's just say he spent one long weekend in the laboratory, and that's what caused it. And with that said, I'm gonna leave that out. Leave that to your imaginations. I think there's something there, but that's all, folks. Take care.